Israeli settlements fragmenting the West Bank, including East Jerusalem, into isolated geographical units, severely undermines the exercise of Palestinian self-determination. Mr. President, the right of the Palestinian people to self-determination is fundamentally hobbled by the prolonged occupation of Palestinian territory by the occupying power, and by the non-compliance with the obligations incumbent upon that power under the elementary rules of international humanitarian law. Palestinian territory remains under occupation within the meaning of international humanitarian law. The Court established in its advisory opinion of 2004 that on account of this de facto situation, the relevant customary and conventional rules of international humanitarian law are applicable in occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem. So, international occupation law is based on the idea that occupation may only be a temporary and provisional situation. The occupying power does not acquire sovereignty over the territory it occupies and must administer it, taking due account of its specific legal status. It must abstain from taking measures likely to entail permanent change, be they the extent of the territory occupied or to its social, economic and demographic reality. More generally, the occupying power must not exercise its authority in order to promote its own interests, or with the aim of using the inhabitants, their property, or the resources of the occupied territory for its own benefit. The occupying power must ensure the protection of the population subject to occupation and take the necessary measures in order to respect their rights and ensure their implementation. Above all, that includes the fundamental rights guaranteeing dignity, equality, and the value of the individual. Rightly, the Court confirmed in 2004 that the treaty instruments relative to human rights remained applicable in OPT, and thus must be respected vis-à-vis the men, women, and children of Palestine. The practices and policies implemented by the occupying power in occupied Palestinian territory do not comply with the elementary obligations of international human rights law or international humanitarian law. The Court already confirmed this in 2004 with respect to the construction of the wall. However, the colonization of occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem, and the installation of settlements with the aim of achieving lasting demographic change, and the displacement of Palestinians, the destruction of their houses and their property, have but accelerated. The Court, the General Assembly, and the Security Council have recalled that settlements in occupied Palestinian territory have no legal basis and remain illegal. The Council vigorously regretted for a long time the continuation and persistence of Israel in pursuing those policies and practices.